Laurie Deitch.
BBC Radio Derby.
But first, have you ever been a victim of a parking scam or nearly found yourself a victim of it? Because there are fresh warnings out right now after a rise in parking scams this summer. Now, this could be fake texts about unpaid tickets to tampered car park machines that can secretly steal your card details. Now, fraudsters seem to be getting more and more creative in how they do this. And I asked you if you've ever experienced this. Well, Pip has. Pip says, I had one of those parking tickets only yesterday. Had to be paid by today and gave me a phone number to call. I know it was a scam because they have to normally go through the DVLA. My colleague called the number for me and the voicemail was for a woman called Tina. That's unbelievable. I mean, that's a bit weird, isn't it, Pip? Because you'd think they'd, change their voicemail to be a little bit clever about that if they've asked you to call them to pay this parking ticket. Anyway, I'm glad, Pip. I'm glad you were savvy and you didn't get caught out with that. But it trips quite a lot of people up because they can look so realistic. And there is good news because there are very simple ways that you can protect yourself. Scott Dixon is an expert in consumer and motorist disputes and is known as the complaint resolver. Hello, Scott.
Hello, Laurie. Thank you for having me on.
Can you just, no, it's our pleasure. Thank you for being on. Can you just give us a bit of a sense of how widespread these parking scams have become recently?
It's a big problem, Laurie. Over the past few months, lots of people are being caught out and hit with texts and the QR codes that are being stuck onto parking meters over legitimate codes. There's various different ways that scammers are targeting motorists, and they do look very convincing. But there's a few quick things that you need to know about to protect yourself. And the first thing you need to be aware of is a genuine fine or a parking charge notice from a private parking operator will never be sent by text. So nobody is ever going to text you, and what you need to look for, they'll only ever come in writing, so that it'll either be on your windscreen or handed to you or issued in the post. And there's three types of parking tickets. There's a penalty charge notice, which are issued by councils, and they are for infringements on public highways like parking in bus lanes, double yellow lines. Fixed penalty notices, and they are issued by the police for the likes of speeding offences, and parking charge notices. Now, this is a topic in itself because a private parking operator cannot fine you, and it's a common myth to think that you've been hit with a fine when in actual fact it's simply technically just an invoice for an alleged breach of contract for parking on private land, and these are issued likes of supermarkets, gyms, and retail parks. So the first thing you need to bear in mind, don't click on any links in text or emails. And a common scam is a fake text saying that you owe an unpaid fine, and they'll send you a link. Just don't click on it. And as I say, real fines, they'll come through the post, and nobody's going to revoke your driving licence. Only the DVLA and courts can do that.
Okay, that's some great advice, Scott, for some of them. What about when you're maybe out and about and you're paying for a car park machine? Because those QR codes, I wouldn't know the difference necessarily, what's a real one and what's a fake one. So how can you help with that?
Well, what you need to do is just run your thumb or fingernail over the code to see if it's a sticker that's been put over a legitimate QR code. And personally, I wouldn't use QR codes for that reason. Always pay. It's hard to pay by cash now, but pay by app or another payment method. I would say just avoid paying by QR codes, and that's a big problem in itself.
And if somebody's listening right now and they think, oh gosh, Scott, I've clicked on a link, I've entered some details, what is the first thing they should do, do you think?
First thing you need to do is restart your device, and that cuts off the remote access, and change your passwords. If you've clicked through a link and given your bank details, contact your bank's fraud department straight away and say you've been scammed and you genuinely believed you were making a legitimate payment, and the bank should reimburse you under the new payment systems regulator rules, and they came into effect last October. And you need to push hard and say you've been scammed, you genuinely believed you were making a legitimate payment, and the bank should reimburse you under those circumstances. And if they don't, follow the complaints procedure and say, please provide me with a deadlock letter, a final response, so I can take it to the Financial Ombudsman Service as a complaint to escalate for review. And it's a free service that the Financial Ombudsman Service run for those types of complaints, and it costs the banks money, and so they don't want to follow that route. So it's something worth remembering. And also consider running antivirus software too. If you've clicked on a dodgy link and you've made some payments, stop your cards and tell the bank as well, and keep an eye on your credit record. So a few months afterwards, in case any payments have been, dodgy payments have been made and things like that, you can track your credit record, Experian, to see if there's been any issues flagged on that.
Yeah. Oh, that's some really great advice, Scott. Thank you so much for those top tips, because, everyone's busy, aren't they? They can get a message on their phone and they think, oh gosh, and then just half realising what they're doing because they're being distracted with the kids or making dinner or whatever. And then it's so easy to do, isn't it? It's what I'm sort of saying, Scott.
Yeah, and fraudsters have also been attaching card readers to steal your details as well. So if it doesn't feel right, don't use it. And always try and pay by cash or via an official parking app. Don't use QR codes, and just be careful. And if you have, and check your fine. If it is a legitimate fine, check that the right details have been made. Never click on suspicious links. Restart and change passwords if you do. And just trust your instincts. If it looks dodgy, just walk away.
Perfect. Scott, thank you so much. It's been really great to talk to you.
Thanks, Laurie. Thanks for having me.
Scott Dixon there, who is an expert in consumer and motorist disputes and is also known as the complaint resolver. I'm sure you'll find what he said really, really useful, and just some top tips to just remind yourself of when you're out and about and you're paying for parking or you receive a text like this.